Hey, this is KJ with KJ Spiritual Astrology, here with a short reading for the Pisces. We have the new moon in Capricorn tomorrow as we come into Aquarius season. We are in that Capricorn energy, the new moon in Capricorn, right? You look at your career, you look at what's going on with your public reputation. All right. So, you're moving away from the heartache. We got the Three of Wands. We've got Judgment, Death, Queen of Wands, Seven of Wands, the King of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. The Three of Swords upright. Okay, we've got betrayal and heartbreak. The hardest times can bring out strength and resilience. I mean, betrayal and heartbreak and things people do in the name of survival. They open us up to our intuition, to our abilities, to who we are. Who we're supposed to be. We got the Three of Wands in reverse. Sure, you had life plans. The Three of Wands in reverse says, sure, you had plans in life. You had set some goals. You thought life would be a certain way. You know, but you gotta slow down. You gotta slow down. I mean, you know, maybe you have some momentum going in the public sphere. You know, in the public arena. You've got something going on in the public arena. You know, with your work in the world. You know, you are working in the world, right? But you got to slow down. So, I mean, you figure that slowdown is coming. That slowdown is coming. But don't be distracted. You can still achieve your goals. The journey is more important than the destination. Okay, so we take a time out. We, you know, we get involved with people, you know. We got Judgment in reversed. Judgment reversed. I mean, sometimes we don't like what we see. I mean, people can get stuck in old patterns. People can refuse to let go. With judgment comes acceptance. The past cannot be changed. It can only be accepted in order to move on. You accept the past in order to move on. Okay, there was betrayal in the past. Betrayal in the past. That's accepted in order to move on. Otherwise, you know, you could idealize people. You could be too kind. You know, sometimes when we're too nice, it's not good. Death reversed here. I mean, we have to accept the new cycles. Maybe people are hesitating to let go. Maybe people want to stay in the shadows. Maybe people want to watch others from afar. I mean, you can't resist change forever. Anxiousness is fine, but the universe doesn't stop its motion. So, I mean, ultimately, if you are out there working in the world and you have to pause, you have to slow down, you know, you're letting go of the past. Yeah, you can't live in the past. The past is like going into the rear view mirror. You know, people are working on new things, you know. People are going to have new games, new things they're doing. You know, you figure people from the past, they find other things to do. So, I mean, you got to find other things to do too. Even if they look over your shoulders, you can't be living in the past. It's not healthy. It's not healthy to live in the past. You can't. You can't live in the past. I mean, you know, you can love people from a distance sometimes. Sometimes you're, you know, you're just not, you're not in a position to, you know, determine who holds the status quo. I mean, the status quo is overrated, sure, but you gotta let people finish their cycles. Let people finish their cycles. If they're finishing their cycles, you should be finishing yours. You have everything it takes to accomplish your goals. So, I mean, ultimately, we have goals to accomplish. We have things to do. You know, here we have somebody looking dignified. We have goals to accomplish. We have things to do. And we can't be hung up by the past. We can't let it hold us back. None of us can. Not a single person can let the past hold us back. You can't live in the past. You can't sit in a time and space of of the past. The past, if it represented poverty, lack, scarcity, victim mentality, not being as empowered as you could have been. If it represented the wrong things, you have to move on. So here we have perseverance with the Seven of Wands. You got to persevere. Even if people are telling you what to do, how to live, how to think, how to believe, you remember what happened. You were there. I mean, yes, you can let go. We do not belong living in the past, period. We don't. You know, we just don't need to be there. You know, people are trying to move on to different things. Ultimately, people move on with new people. It's part of the process. I mean, people can be rash, dramatic. Having a lot of energy is good, but you can lose your focus. And, you know, you could fall out. You could fall out if you're too, you know, you're using all your energy. If you use all of your energy, you know, being quick, moving fast, if you lose all of your energy, there's going to be consequences. Don't blow anything out of proportion. I mean, people have their agendas. They can have their agendas. They can have their angle. They can have their perspective. You know what I mean? But ultimately, if there's people completing karmic cycles that don't involve you, and you're, you know, completing your life's mission, you're into your public presence, who you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing. You know, we have the whole concept of the life coach. Somebody's here to be a coach, a reader, a messenger. Someone's here with a specific work to do. And, you know, you got people from the past having opinions. You know, you can have people from the past having opinions, believing that they are correct, not understanding perhaps your life path, or the life path of other people in the situation. I mean, there are people that are now grouped together that are on a similar wavelength. You know what I mean? Here we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. You know, we have people that are currently together in a group that are on a similar wavelength, a similar mission. You know, they have something to do together. You know, there's new contracts, new people, new circumstances. There's misleading influences. You know, there's people who would want you to be a distraction, or they would like to distract you perhaps. But you have to be true to your path as they need to be true to theirs. They don't understand perhaps why things maybe ended so harshly, but there's some complicated dynamics. There's complicated dynamics. I mean, when we work hard, you know, in the physical arena, we are not tending to other areas of our lives. Okay? So that burnout is not a good thing. Burning out is not positive. You do have to slow down. You do have to tend to what's important, what's necessary, what's needed. We do need to have spiritual time. We do. We need quiet time. We need time to just look at the overall picture. Everybody's going to have their perspective. Here we have declutter. It's important to declutter. It's important to slow down. You'll need that time. Declutter, slow down. It's part of the whole process. You can't manifest if you didn't declutter, you didn't slow down, you didn't take a time out. Have patience. If timelines are crossing, have a little patience. I mean, yeah, there very well is like background stuff where he said, she said, he said, you know, who needs to be more forgiving, who needs to be less opinionated, who is, whose energy's off, who's better, who's not, you know, just there's situations in life that are complicated and you gotta slow down. You gotta slow down. I'm taking the time to simply be. The angels would like to introduce you to the art of being. There are many things we can rediscover by slowing down and not always rushing to get things done. Walk slowly, pay attention to every step, leave time for conversation, eat slowly, be deliberately aware of your actions. Okay, yeah, it's ironic that the new moon in Capricorn could represent the new era, the new work, the new circumstances, the new thing you're building. Okay? Declutter. Okay, yeah, so this new moon in Capricorn, right before Aquarius season, I am surrounded only by what I need and love. Okay, so hopefully we have time for that time out. The angels want you to know the best way to declutter your home, your workspace, and your life is to take things one small step at a time. Combined small steps will lead to big improvements that will be easier to maintain over the long run. Okay, so have patience with the process this year. I mean, you figure we're listening to the snake and what the snake has to say before the year of the horse. It takes time for miracles to happen, and I'm okay with it. The angels remind you that in order to succeed, you must learn how to control your impatience and wait until the right outcome you deserve comes along. Okay, so you know, people want to build anew. They want to do new things. I have everything I need. The angels remind you that by filling your subconscious with thoughts and images of what you really want, and by speaking positively about these things, you will bring them into your real life and manifest your yes. Okay, for me, I have looked at how important a healthy identity is. Without a healthy identity, we can't become who we're meant to be. You know, we're complicated humans. You know, we could be working in several different spaces. You know, we can be multitasking, juggling several different types of jobs. You know, we have different responsibilities that we have to do, we have to attend to. There's responsibility at home. So you look at how important slowing down is. You have to take care of your physical body, your physical vessel, for all those things that you did in the past that were not healthy. You have to replace that energy with healthy energy. You have to, it's like the old you owes the new you, you know, otherwise your health could have issues come upon you, creep up on you. I mean, honestly, if we're not taking care of our health, we could head to a bad place. We have to take care of our health. We have to have patience. We have to slow down. We have to declutter. We have to trust the process. So it's like, you know, you look at how you can be a positive influence on some people around you. Some people you won't win over, some people you will, but like the interconnectedness of our paths, where you know, there's somebody in our group that needs us. There's somebody in our group that needs us to be the guide, to be an influence, a positive influence. You see similarities in people and the path that they walk, and you want things to be the best. You want things to be positive, be hopeful, be what they're supposed to be. You want to show empathy towards the individual that wants to step on their path, and they want to become the best version of themselves, and they're not there yet. They need you. They need you. So if you don't slow down to take care of you, how are you going to be there for other people if you don't slow down and take care of yourself? Because we need that quiet time, that positivity, that groundedness. We need to be grounded. And again, we're getting over the heartbreak, the betrayal, the misalignment, you know, with people where things did not work out, you know, and people got to move on. They got to move on. All right, Pisces, that's my message on this new moon in Capricorn, just days before Aquarius season. We're in the new era. We're you know, we're getting further in. It's really important. This stuff that's going on now, very important. So we just got to keep at it one day at a time. Find your safe space, you know, keep your safe space going. Just don't lose sight. Don't lose your focus. Slow down. Slow down. I mean, you know, there's plenty of going on in the public arena. And then privately, you know, you need to be home, decluttering, having patience with yourself, slowing down, taking care of yourself, so you can manifest better, a more balanced life. You know, if things are out of balance, find your balance. You know what I mean? You can keep plugging away in the work world, but you need time to be productive at home too. So ultimately, you need to be valuable at home in your own space, with the people that matter the most. So you prioritize your own group, and recognize that you don't have control over everyone's group. They don't have control over you. So why would you have control over them? We got to let go to grow. So we can't live in the past. People got to be working towards positive futures. They need to get rid of that, get away from that past energy, work on the healing, work on helping the people closest to you. All right, Pisces, that's my message with this new moon in Capricorn. Thanks for watching.